Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's positive news story. Let's get right into this. More than 20 years ago, Virginia Squaller chaperoned a group of middle school students on a tour of England. She brought along her daughter, Chambers, who was 8 years old at the time. One evening, near the end of the visit, her daughter and she and the school group were on a platform on the London Underground, getting ready to head to the next destination. It was 5 p.m. and the station was absolutely packed. Squire took hold of Chambers' hand and began counting her students. Just then a train pulled up to the platform. Suddenly, my daughter let go of my hand and jumped on the train, and the doors began to close, she said. As the train gathered speed, I ran alongside, trying to force the door open by digging my fingers into the black rubber gasket on the other side of the glass. I could see my daughter's panicked face. The last thing she saw as the train pulled out of the station was Chambers crying and pounding her small fists against the glass. Behind her, a young man dressed in black leather with a spiked dog collar around his neck rose from his seat and started moving towards her daughter. Terrified, she searched for an employee. Then the man she found was not a native English speaker, which made explaining her situation almost impossible. I was shocked, too frightened to cry, too focused on getting this man to understand my plea for help, when suddenly one of my students appeared at my shoulder. And she said, "She's back." And I turned, and there she was, my little girl. That man on the train with the spiked collar had witnessed what had happened and stepped in to help. He comforted Chambers, guided her off the train at the next stop, then boarded another train heading back to her mother. My preconceived notion that he was frightening was destroyed. I remember looking up at him and breaking down, sobbing, hugging my sobbing child. When I looked up again to thank him, he was gone. For weeks after the incident, she would break into tears at the thought of how differently the scenario could have played out. She wishes she could find her unsung hero and express what a difference he made. Chambers told Squire that she thought the man was from the United States, possibly from Indiana or Minnesota. As a result, I've entertained fantasies of taking out ads in newspapers or putting up billboards along highways so I could find him and thank him. She said the man didn't just save her daughter. It changed the way she moves through the world and taught her to be a more accepting person. Today, she said, I hold his image in my head when I find myself judging someone based on their appearance. I hope he knows he rescued me from the worst day of my life. That's today's positive news video.